Welcome. Thank you all for joining us today. My name is Vanessa Cooksey, and I have the honor of serving as the President and CEO of the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis. Raise your hand if you love a good celebration. Well, you're in luck because we are getting ready to celebrate. This event is a celebration of the tenacity of our arts and culture community. In 2020 and 2021, RAC had to cut operating expenses and cancel programs. Our grantees had to accommodate lower grant payments, and the public had to forego visiting our building. We all made several sacrifices to ensure RAC would survive the most devastating social and economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Then in 2022, we gathered at Artists First in Maplewood to award $1,901,107 in grants to artists and arts organizations. It was a deeply rewarding experience, as you can imagine. Here's what I know for sure. Success is an outcome of sacrifice, and RAC is moving from surviving to thriving. We are here today to award $4,489,954 to artists and arts organizations that have made and continue to make St. Louis a great place to live, work, and visit. That's a 136% increase in our grant making in just 1 year. RAC's best and brightest days are still ahead of us. And now, to share more details about this year's grants, please welcome Andréa Purnell, our 2023 Board Chair.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Andréa Purnell, and I am the 2023 Board Chair of the Regional Arts Commission of St. Louis. It is such an honor to be here with you today as we celebrate this occasion. We are awarding nearly $4.5 million in grants to local artists and arts organizations in St. Louis City and St. Louis County. This is a significant moment for artists, arts organizations, and all of us who embrace the arts within. St. Louis creatives have always been a major driving force for building the economy and community. I am energized by our investment in a local arts and cultural sector that continues to enrich so many aspects of our daily lives and brings visitors to our uniquely artistic region. The grants process is indeed a labor of love, and I want to acknowledge the hard work and dedication from the RAC grants team, grant reviewers, and commission members who made today possible. RAC is not only the largest public funder of the arts, but also the only public organization who gives money directly to artists like Ryan Marquez and Danny B, who'll join us later today. This year, RAC will support 181 artists through its Arts Support Grants, more than double the number from 2022. This funding is critical to the career advancement of our artists, giving them resources to create, innovate, and inspire. To the 129 program support grant recipients we are supporting in 2023, we thank you for bringing innovative, impactful arts programming to our community. The funding we provide this year will help organizations like Central Print introduce the art of letterpress printmaking to people of all ages. Program support grants allow the Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival to share the rich and colorful Hispanic culture with our region and bring young creatives together to influence positive change in the community through St. Louis Story Stitchers. Leaders from all three of these organizations are with us today. And let's not forget about our 40 general operating support grant recipients. Organizations like Cinema St. Louis, Shakespeare Festival, and Metro Theater Company will receive the highest grant award payments from RAC for the first time since the pandemic. I've been connected to the Regional Arts Commission for many years, first as an intern and now as board chair. I am so proud of our beloved organization and the progress that we have made to ensure our grant-making process has a meaningful impact on the St. Louis region for years to come. And with that, I'd like to introduce the Director of Central Print, Marie Oberkirch.
Thank you all for joining us here today in Old North St. Louis. I welcome you to Central Print. And I'd like to let you know a little bit about what we do here in Old North. Printmaking is our main point of interest. What I'd like to invite you here today to do as well is to make a print. We've set up a print on the press here, so each one of you can experience the power of printmaking on your own. And that's thanks to our Regional Arts Commission fellow, Kenya. Thank you so much, Kenya. And it's thanks to the program support grant that Central Print received that we're able to provide programming throughout the community and here in our neighborhood throughout the year. From outreach programs, classes, and workshops, we're able to hire instructors that do hands-on printmaking techniques with our participants. And each participant gets to make something original on their own. They might carve a wooden block, apply ink, put paper on top, run it through the press to make a print. But what they really experience is the empowerment of making their own print and sharing it with the community. So we're happy to support that and thankful so much for the gift that we've received from the Regional Arts Commission. And now here's Ryan.
Thank you all. How y'all feeling today? Yeah. All right. I'm Ryan Marquez. I am a full-time creative here in St. Louis, Missouri. I've been here for the last 18 years. My primary discipline is in music, where I am a producer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, vocalist, and pretty much anything that you can do in music, I got a hand in. And I am a beneficiary of the Regional Arts Commission. I've been applying for grants from the Regional Arts Commission for about the last, I guess, almost decade now. And I've received the opportunity to receive tools that have been instrumental to my development as a artist as well as a business professional. And whether it's been a new keyboard or a new laptop, or whether it was funding the first official record release that I put out under the Ryan Marquez Trio, which was an album that I did back in 2018, or whether it was an opportunity to travel to California to do a residency where I had the opportunity to really just connect with the music industry at large with the intention of bringing back opportunity for St. Louis artists and Missouri-made music products. And my intention is to create art that drastically changes the way people live their lives. And I'm willing to risk everything to connect my art and the art created here in Missouri to any willing recipient. I do what I can with what I have, where I am. And I put myself on the line like nobody else. My creativity is rooted in unity, as I believe that art is transcendental and is the very fabric of the reality from which we are all co-creating. I believe that ideas are infinite and opportunities are abundant. When you place your thoughts with intentional purpose, we can truly work together to make this world a better place. And it's going to take each and every voice and willing participant. And I am a true believer that each and every one of us, everybody in this room, everybody that you encounter, is an artist. And we all have the ability to create. Some of us are called to pursue that as a career. And we spend a lifetime trying to figure out what exactly that means and how exactly to make that work. Right? Y'all hear me? Y'all feel me? Yeah. And I remember being fresh out of college and thinking, okay, finally, here we are. Now it's time to make the money. And I was quickly awakened to the intention that it takes to really, truly create a discipline and understanding truly what the meaning of that word is. And I know that a large part of the success that I've achieved, being able to say that I am a full-time creative, that I am able to work every day on writing songs and producing albums and networking, and also giving back to the community, whether it's working with volunteer lawyers of the arts and accountants in the arts, or whether it's working with Jazz St. Louis or the Kransberg Arts Foundation. It's truly an honor and a blessing in my life to be connected to the Regional Arts Commission, to be an ambassador for the great city of St. Louis, Missouri at the state level, and to represent artists at a legislative level, as I am also an advocate for music in Jefferson City, working with legislators to bring about change that is beneficial to our community. So I just want to say to each and every one of you, no matter where you are in your walk as an artist, keep going, and just remember that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. Thank you all so much.
Oh, you're good, man.
And now I'm going to kick it over to Susan.
All right.
Hello, I'm Susan Colangelo. I'm the founding president and executive director of St. Louis Story Stitchers. I'm a full-time volunteer at Story Stitchers. I would probably beat out anybody in here for volunteer hours. I love what I do. St. Louis Story Stitchers is a nationally recognized artist collective, 3 NEA awards in a row for media arts for our youth-led podcast program, Stitchcast Studio, an Obama Foundation Award for My Brother's Keeper, a CDC Foundation Award to help our community accept and learn about boost vaccine confidence. Very proud of our young people. We are also known for innovative youth violence prevention programs. Can everybody hear me? Okay? Okay. We're very involved in the City of St. Louis, in the St. Louis Area Violence Prevention Commission. We've been a founding member and the charter member of that. And we're working with the Office of Violence Prevention now. We're going to be starting a PSA campaign through the summer called Safe Team. We'll be out at block parties doing a new dance called 3 Steps Back and promoting safe storage of our firearms to lessen injury and death of our children. St. Louis Story Stitchers is a youth-driven artist collective. Youth are at our central core. We work with 16 to 24-year-old youth from underserved neighborhoods of St. Louis City and County, and also sometimes East St. Louis. When I think of the Regional Arts Commission and when I think of St. Louis Story Stitchers, I think of growth and stability. When we first met the Regional Arts Commission, it was 2015, so we founded Story Stitchers here in Old North St. Louis at Juan Chavez and Kirsten Torres's studio just down the street in 2012 because I was awakened to gun violence. I wanted to do something like the Names Project with stitching. I was embroidering at the time. That's where the Stitchers comes in. We don't actually stitch anything except for stories. But at that time I was, and we gathered artists and we formed an adult artist collective, and we were meeting every month, and we got a check from the Pulitzer Arts Foundation to do a community engagement project in that lot across from the building, for the museum, for $1,500. And it said St. Louis Story Stitchers, and we're like, dang, we can't cash this check. we're like not anything. We don't have an account. We're not anything. So we went to the law clinic at WashU, and they looked at our charter that we'd written, our mission, and they said, you should be a 501c3. Can't you see that? And we're like, really? So we did found, and this is right before Michael Brown was murdered, and we founded, and then we became a 501c3 in December 2014, and we got our first Regional Arts Commission grant, and it gives me goosebumps now. It was about $900. It was like, huge to us. And we made our first concert at Kransberg Arts Center. And we've been going ever since. I think the artists got I don't know what they got, but it wasn't very much. But we were just thrilled, and we put the RAC logo on our little video. We were so excited. So since then, when I think of Story Stitchers and I think of Regional Arts Commission, y'all have been helping us every year. You've been teaching us every year with wonderful workshops and and even through COVID with Zoom meetings and keeping us informed. We've been to Jefferson City several times to learn about advocacy. There's so many things that you do for us alongside the funding, which is critical, that helps us grow and serve more people in the community. From that time, now last year our budget was around $750,000, and that's a huge jump. One of the national grants, so you're not only giving us regional funds, but we're drawing in national funding that's significant now and trying to draw more. We have an accelerated grant from the Lewis Prize for Music, which I encourage anyone that's serving youth to look at. It was a $500,000 5-year grant. We're in year 3 now, and there's 14 organizations across the country. So that has been a huge accelerator, and partly is why our budget's growing. But the Regional Arts Commission is critical to bringing in state and national dollars alongside our regional dollars to help our communities grow. And we all know that violence is a problem in our community. The arts is crucial to helping our young people move forward and move up and experience growth and stability, right alongside the Regional Arts Commission. When you think of your time coming of age, when you were 16 to 23 years old, what was your favorite art form? What did you do when you were with friends? I bet you can all remember songs and even the lyrics from that time of your life. That is a part of our brains that stays with us even through Alzheimer's. It's been shown. So we are really, really honored to have the Regional Arts Commission in our fold of loving supporters, and we are accepting new youth. If you have youth that are 16 to 24, please send them. We have this huge new center in Grand Center, thanks to the Lewis Prize and the Kransberg Arts Foundation principally, and I want you all to come and see it. It's beautiful. It's on Grandel Square. Used to be the Urban League building, and we're honored now to have the symphony in the space beside us while they go through their renovations and expansion. So we're really great neighbors. So please come by. And also want to invite you to our play Thursday and Friday, The Why of My City. It's a huge project. It's at the ZAC at 7 o'clock. So thanks, everybody. And here's Danny. Danny.
Good morning, beautiful people. How are you doing this morning? I'm going to ask you to do something. Repeat after me, please. I love art.
I love art.
Art is for me.
Art is for me.
Art is for my city.
Art is for my city.
So that's one of the things I actually learned through the Teaching Artists Institute at the Regional Arts Commission. I've had such a profound relationship with RAC, also with the VLAA, which is a part of my artistic journey in terms of learning and growing as an artist, as well as being a cats in the room. Meow. Cats, yes. So I guess to give you a little bit about myself, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, I'm an educator, I'm a storyteller. I actually do use things like that in my classroom. And so a lot of my work, particularly related to the grant that I received, is related to the Ferguson demonstrations and creating alternative narratives of the events, particularly that are specific to St. Louis as our own city, despite what the national media has said. And my grant specifically is to help develop the ability to scale and grow the presentations that I give. Whether it's using technology, one of the objects that I will be using the grant for is to purchase a new laptop, which is going to help me with doing my presentations so I don't have to worry about my old laptop dying on me in the middle of a presentation. And those are things that artists really do have to worry about sometimes, and that's why it's tremendously important to support artists to make sure that when we're giving you this wonderful experience, we don't have to charge our phone in the middle of it. But little things like that that are just going to help me scale the presentations, that are going to allow me to reach more people. Some of the presentations that I've given have been at the Sam Fox School at Washington University, and that has been a tremendous learning opportunity, not only for the locals that attend the classes there, but also for the people who aren't from the city. And many of them don't really have a full awareness of Ferguson. And so when they come to St. Louis, they come with the national narrative, but they don't really have a sense of the true narrative or the local narrative. And so that's sort of the work that I do, educating people on the entire story. Not to say that everything in the national media wasn't true, it's just not the entire truth. And so that's kind of one of the things that I've been truly passionate about, and I do believe the grant is going to help me excel in that area. And part of how I got there was actually with the Living Ferguson event that was given by St. Louis Public Radio in 2019. And so originally I began documenting the protest, born and raised in the North County area. When I actually grew up, the townhome we lived in was directly behind the Quick Trip that everyone pretty much knows. And so that's sort of how I was initially drawn to a lot of the work that was going on in Ferguson. And so initially I just thought this is just photography, that's sort of the end of it. However, once I did this event with St. Louis Public Radio, I realized that there is a tremendous need for these different narratives, and literally being able to see all of the people who were truly impacted by the events, not necessarily in a negative light, but seeing some of the positive things that came out of them, such as the community that was developed around the Quick Trip. One of the things that the national media doesn't tell you is that people literally turned that into a community center. So people were serving food, they were giving nourishment, they were doing healing and things like that. And that's the exact story that my work tells. And so that's why I'm tremendously grateful for the Regional Arts Commission for believing in me through CAT, through TAI, and now as a grant recipient to help me grow and expand upon that work. Could go on, long story, but I just can't tell you how phenomenal the journey has been, from the first day that I set foot in RAC in a VLAA workshop to being a CAT. Such a tremendous honor. I'm just truly grateful for this opportunity, and thank you so much. And now I have the pleasure of introducing Elisa.
Buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you, Andrea and Regional Arts Commission. I am with the Hispanic Festival Incorporated. We are a nonprofit. We present different cultural events throughout St. Louis, and our grant this year will be for the Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival, which is down in Soulard. The Greater St. Louis Hispanic Festival, actually, and the organization started in the late 90s with $500 and a one-day event in Faust Park. And, begging artists, begging vendors, come, let's do something, we want to, share the culture, get the community together. After that, We ended up having a lot of support from Regional Arts Commission. I have to say, RAC has been a supporter from the very beginning with the Hispanic Festival. And I really appreciate that because in the beginning, I think a lot of the community in St. Louis didn't really understand, supporting the Hispanic community or the Hispanic arts. And the Regional Arts Commission was one of the organizations that did. And they've been behind us the whole time. One of the fastest growing, or actually the fastest growing demographic in the U.S. is the Hispanic demographic, and is no different here in Missouri and St. Louis. We are the fastest growing demographic. I was born and raised here in St. Louis, actually in Florissant, and I'm a kid of the 80s, and without saying my age too much, I was the only Hispanic in school, and it was, kind of odd. But nowadays, so many more are here, and we are finding that our events, our cultural events, sharing our arts and culture with dance, music, visual arts is extremely important to our community. We have folkloric dancers, we have musicians, we have visual artists, photography. We have so many different elements that are part of our culture that we really appreciate Regional Arts Commission for supporting us. So thank you so much, and thank you.
Thank you, Elisa. Wow. Instead of another round of applause, give a thumbs up if you were inspired by what was shared today. These stories are a clear example of RAC's desire to ensure a full creative life for every St. Louisan. As I close, I want to invite you to join us for two very important and fun, if you haven't figured out by now, we do have fun events, upcoming at RAC on August 2nd. We will launch our ARPA for the Arts program. Through this initiative, we will distribute $9.5 million in revenue replacement and tourism development grants to artists and arts organizations in the city of St. Louis. On October the 23rd, we will host Cultura, our inaugural Arts and Culture Research Conference. We are building an international forum for the presentation and discussion of industry-leading research and evaluation methods. And this year, you will hear the results of Creatives Count and the Arts and Economic Prosperity Study, also known as AEP6. These are the most comprehensive economic studies of artists and arts organizations in the St. Louis region. Please follow and encourage your family, friends, colleagues to follow us on social media to receive more information about these awesome events. As I close, I want to thank our entire team of commissioners and staff with a special shout out to Ann Haubrick, Chloe Smith, Lee Winter, Jay Scherter, and Jason Shipkowski, and our 2023 Grants Chair, Roz Johnson. We work on to get to this day all year long, and these folks have made today great. And until we meet again, I want to say be well and give a special shout out to my husband who is here, who supports me. It's not easy being married to me and or anything, and is in my corner of support all the time. So I appreciate you being here. Thank you, and give somebody a hug before you leave.